Welcome to Comic Power. I am your host, Comic Killer 72. This segment today is called Wicked Wednesday. If you didn't know, Wednesday is the new release for new comics that come out every week. These are my recommendations for the best books to pick up on Wednesday. I will also name one book to be the speculation pick of the week. For my longtime viewers, I need your help on promoting this channel. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I'll start doing giveaways as a reward. And we're talking key issue comics that will make you happy like Homer with a box of donuts. First up, DC is giving us Batman Beyond #1. I really love this Batman of the future in the person of Terry McGinnis. I also love this variant shown right here, drawn by Martin Anson. The popularity of this character is increasing. You definitely want to try to find the special origin issue that was released back in 1999. It was released in support of the animated series and has become a real collector's item. So, a Batman Beyond Rebirth #1 reboot? Yes sir, can I have another? Next up is Deathstroke #5. In this storyline where he's battling Batman, look at here, he's captured Damian Wayne. Old Bats ain't gonna be happy about this one. Deathstroke has been confirmed to be the villain in the upcoming solo Batman movie entitled The Batman. So you should be paying attention to what's going on in the comics. The variant for this issue looks impressive as well. Christopher Priest, who's famous for his run on the Black Panther in the late 90s, is writing this and he is killing it. Next up is Frostbite #2 from Vertigo Comics, which is a division of DC. This is a dystopian future where the world is in another ice age and humanity has to learn to survive the cold and each other. Think of it as The Walking Dead where they're fighting zombies and other humans. But in this series, they're fighting the bitter cold and other humans. This is a 6-part miniseries and I'm really enjoying this. Issue 1 was a knockout. I can't wait to read issue 2. The artist is Jason Sean Alexander and the artwork looks amazing. Next up is Teen Titans #1. The art is by John Boy Myers, who I never heard of, but this looks fantastic. I've always been a Teen Titans fan since the incarnation that we see now was first put together in 1980. I have no idea why DC is not making a movie or a television show about this property because it's so popular. What exactly are they waiting on? Seriously. Next up is Vigilante Southland #1 of a 6-part miniseries. This character isn't new. He's been around since 1941 in different incarnations. The version you see here is based on the 1983 version shown here. This character predates the Punisher, but he's never been as popular as that character has been. DC is testing him out again with this 6-part miniseries. There's also a nice looking variant shown here. If you like Batman, the Punisher, or Moon Knight, you'll dig this too. Next up is the Wonder Woman 75th Anniversary Special #1. Let's face it, Wonder Woman is the most iconic and recognizable female comic book character ever, created way back in 1941. This is a great way to honor her with this awesome Jim Lee cover shown here. If you're over 40, then you're sure to remember the Wonder Woman TV show played by Linda Carter. The torch has been passed to Gal Gadot and I can't wait to see the movie, seriously. As for the comic, you have other choices like this Nicholas Scott variant, which shows a much more muscular version. There's also a Sharp variant, which shows off the bracelets. Whatever version you get, just remember this issue costs $8 retail, but Princess Diana is worth every penny. Next up, let's see what Marvel is up to, and that's Civil War II, issue #6 of an 8-part miniseries. I haven't talked that much about this crossover because I think a lot of the issues are completely unnecessary and just a money grab. But they're finally getting down to the nitty gritty where Captain Marvel battles Iron Man. And this being Marvel, they're going to overload it with all kinds of variants, even if the cover isn't completely relevant to what's inside the book. Next up is Star Wars #24. This is a no-brainer. You should be collecting every issue of Star Wars and Darth Vader whenever they come out. You're getting an advanced look at source material which may be used in future Star Wars movies. And the action figure variants are smashing, like Hulk smashing. And they're introducing a ton of new characters. There's a sketch variant for this issue as well, but retailers may jack up the price, but don't overpay for this. My rule of thumb is never pay more than $10 for a new variant that comes out, because most of them are going to drop anyway. Next up is the Punisher Annual #1, and they have a Halloween inspired cover for it that looks awesome. That's a very creepy cover, but a good one. Next up is the Prowler #1. I think he's an underrated villain. Sometimes he's an anti-hero. He kind of straddles the line a little bit. He was first introduced in Amazing Spider-Man #78 back in 1969, and he was Marvel's first black villain. He also turned out later to be the uncle of Miles Morales, and he accidentally played a part on how Miles got his powers. All these subplots could weave into Spider-Man Homecoming coming up in July 2017. The Shocker has been confirmed for the film and will be played by Bokeem Woodbine. So it's a possibility that the Prowler could show up because there's a possibility that Miles Morales should show up. And you can't have Miles Morales without the Prowler, who is his uncle. So be paying attention to what they do with the Prowler. And here's an action figure variant. Have some. It tastes pretty good. Next up is the final issue of the Vision with issue number 12. Now, I apologize for not talking about this comic earlier. It's unique, creative, and well written. Issue number 1 is the first appearance of Vision, who's also going to be in the Champions now. I would recommend a trade when they come out with all 12 issues collected together. The writer is Tom King. He's the same guy that's working on the Sheriff of Babylon as well as Batman right now. He's killing it. He's one of the best new writers in comics. Next up is Doctor Strange, Sorceress Supreme number 1. Bet you can't say that 5 times fast. At the making of this video, we're about 3 weeks away from the debut of the Doctor Strange movie. And trust me, I can't wait. It's been a long time coming for this. So Marvel will be giving him a big push for November. And you know that's true because they're also releasing Doctor Strange Mystic Apprentice number 1. Man, these titles are long. I'm going to make a prediction right now that the Doctor Strange movie will make about $850 million worldwide. The people that like Harry Potter will probably catch on to this. And there's no competition. There's no other superhero movies coming out the rest of the year. Next up is our report on independent comics and small publishers. First up is Skyborn number 2 from Boom Studios. This is from Frank Cho, who's an upcoming artist, but he's also writing this. It's an updated version of the King Arthur tale. Also from Boom Studios is Sombra number 4, and this is the final issue of the miniseries. A DEA agent disappeared years ago in Mexico, and now his daughter is down there investigating, and she finds out that he is involved in the drug trade. I would recommend the whole miniseries. Go back and find Sombra number 1 from July 2016. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm probably butchering the name, but you know what I'm talking about. Next up is Serenity, No Power in the Verse number 1 from Dark Horse Comics. This character, Malcolm Reynolds, is similar to like Han Solo or Star-Lord. He's a space outlaw. The winner is going to be this Adam Hughes 30th anniversary variant. Adam is becoming a real star in this game because of artwork like this. His images tell such strong stories that they barely even need words. He's like a modern day Norman Rockwell. Next up is Wolf Cop from Dynamite Entertainment. One night, a police officer stumbles across some black magic that turns him into a werewolf. Of course, this is intentionally cheesy and campy. All you did was take RoboCop, mixed it with Teen Wolf, and you had Wolf Cop. See how you do it? It's that easy. Next up is Action Man Revolution number 1 from IDW Comics. This is one of those Hasbro properties that they want to make more popular so they can turn into movies. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm feeling this cover though. Next up is Minecraft Homes and the Apocalypse Handbook number 3 of a 5-part miniseries. What makes this book special is that it's written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, the basketball player, the skyhook guy, the LA Lakers, 6-time champion, 6-time MVP, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, writing comic books. You can't make this stuff up. Next up is the Skeptics number 1 from Black Mass Studios. In this story, a pair of teens fool the world into thinking that they have superpowers. There's also a New York Comic Con version shown here, which is going on eBay for an average about 40 bucks. Next up is Spook House number 1 from Albatross Funny Books. This indie publisher is the brainchild of Eric Powell, who created The Goon and now has a big hit with Hillbilly. All of his releases have high quality art, concept, and even paper quality. And you can't be just as good as the majors when you're indie, you have to be better. Next up is Animosity number 2, which is going to a second print from Aftershock Comics. This may be the breakout hit of 2016. This book came out of nowhere and has become a big hit. Issue number 1 is on a 4th print and still selling. This is Aftershock's first hit, so they're probably jumping for joy right now. Next up is Generation Zero number 3 from Valiant Comics. They are superpowered teens on the run, but they do good deeds for other teens in trouble. So think of them as the New Mutants meets the A-Team. It also has a sense of humor, which is shown on this 1 in 20 cover. Their first appearance is in Harbinger Wars number 1 from 2012. If you can find this, pick this up too. Next up is the Speculation Pick of the Week. And that's going to be Bloodshot USA number 1. Bloodshot is similar to Wolverine in that he was used as a test subject for an evil organization. In Marvel, it was called the Weapon Plus program, and Valiant is called Project Rising Spirit. And they turned Bloodshot into the ultimate killing machine, but of course he escaped, went rogue, and tried to reclaim his humanity. It turns out that Project Rising Spirit is going to use that same technology they used on Bloodshot on the civilian population now, because they're a bunch of monsters. That's what bad guys do. This will be a key issue for months and years to come, and Valiant is going heavy on the variants for this, including this 1 in 50 sketch variant shown here. Did I mention that Jeff Lemire is writing this as well? You should get on board with Valiant. They're doing some special stuff. Next up, let's see what Image is up to. They always deliver. First up is Chew, number 59. The writer promises that this series is going to end with issue 60. So get on board and give this critically acclaimed series a proper send-off. Next up is Descender, number 16, and it's written by Jeff Lemire. There's that name again. This guy's really good. It's a space adventure with a galaxy as large as Star Wars. It's outstanding. And it just won an Eisner for best multimedia art, and well deserved. Next up is Image Plus number 7. This is oversized in the magazine format. They used to give this away for free when you bought previews, but now you can buy it as a standalone for $2. It gives you a first look at future projects for Image that are coming down the pipeline. Next up is Saga number 39. If The Walking Dead was the most influential title of the 2000s, Saga is easily the most influential book of the 2010s. It's basically a space odyssey that mashes up Star Wars meets Romeo and Juliet. Man, they gotta do a movie one day, seriously. Next up is Seven to Eternity, which is going to a second print. This new title by Rick Remender mashes up horror, magic, intrigue, war. Fans ate it up, and the first print is already selling for about 20 bucks on eBay. In addition, issue number 2 drops this week as well. Let's see if they can keep this going because it's hot out the gate. Next up is Surgeon X number 1, which is also going to a second print. And this second print is a variant. The first print looks like this. The plot looks like this. It's 20 years in the future in the United Kingdom, and a new plague is breaking out because antibiotics are no longer working. Surgeon X works as a experimental underground doctor that's saving people. And this title, just like Seven to Eternity, has a number 2 issue coming out this week. Before I close, I want to give a shout out to Dynamite Entertainment for putting out The Art of Atari. This is a hardcover coffee table book that shows all of the art that Atari used to promote their products back in the day. If you're a gamer, then this is your history book. The retail price is about 40 bucks on this. That's about it for today. Thank you for watching Wicked Wednesday, where I review all the new comic books for a new comic day. Be sure to follow my blog at comicpower.net. On social media, follow me at facebook.com/comicpower.net and comicpower-universe.tumblr.com. And don't forget twitter.com/comicpowersub. I also sell comics on eBay at this link. This is Comic Killer 72 for Comic Power saying bye-bye. And don't forget to share this video, click on subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and tell everyone you know about this channel to help it grow. Thank you for your support.